The Mobile County Public School System presents Homeroom with Nancy Pierce.
Hello and welcome to Homeroom. I'm Nancy Pierce, Public Relations Supervisor for the Mobile County Public School System, and thank you for joining us today. We have so much to talk about. We're talking about food. So there's always a lot to talk about when we talk about food. Joining me today is Suzanne Yates. She is the director of our Child Nutrition Program. So good to have you here. Well, you haven't been here for a while.
Yes, it's been a long time.
I know, and I miss that because we always have such a good time and you have so much great information.
Well, we've just been busy.
I know, you have. Last year we started the summer feeding program with our buses and everything. Let's talk about that. How successful was that?
That was a very successful program. We had one bus that we actually renovated, and we also had 3 vans just to make shift to get food out to the children. And we actually got a little over 98,000 meals this past summer between June and July. And they weren't really full months because we only did it Monday through Thursday. So basically, it was like 7 to 8 weeks, and we did 98,000 meals.
That sounds like a lot.
It was quite a bit. It was a very big task that we had. But this coming summer, we're going to expand our little services. Expand a little bit. So hopefully we get more meals out. I think it'll be a little bit easier. We actually have 4 buses, school buses, that we've renovated.
Oh, good.
So these buses, we have 4 Superfood Expresses.
I love the Superfood Express.
So we're doing that, and hopefully we can get out more meals, because last year whenever we had the vans, it was very difficult because you went around the van, you had to pull out all of the insulated equipment we had with Cambros, which held our hot food. Ice chests, we had tables and stuff, whereas with the bus, we just park the bus and we start handing out meals. So this summer should be a little bit easier. We do still have some vans that will probably make some runs. Like this coming summer, we're really going to be more involved with the ROTC. Okay. They have several different camps, or I'm not sure, activities that they do for the students. And so I saw just the other day, I saw where we're going to be going to Dolphin Island to bring them food. We'll be going to Bienville Square, Spring Hill College.
And that's just for charity.
That's just
for right now?
ROTC. Yeah, just for them.
So do you have any idea what you're going to serve? How many meals you could possibly do this year?
Well, I'm hoping to at least maybe do 120,000 or something, somewhere, just to expand it some, because just some. Just. But I think it'll be more receptive because now people know what we have. They saw what we had last year. And I think some of the sites, one of the things with last year is we were trying to figure out which sites would have our best participation. And really, like in July, we came upon some different sites that all of a sudden, boom, we were serving like 100-something children or whatever at those sites, where in June we were still just sort of trying to feel our way. So I think what we're going to do this year is we're going to have about, I think it's 12 prep sites that will actually be producing food in.
What did you have last year as far as prep sites?
We had like about 14.
Okay.
But we had it at more elementary schools. This year we're going to go more of the high schools, because last year we were bringing a lot of food to high schools to feed all our athletic teams, our bands and stuff like that. So that's going to be our prep sites, is more of the high schools. Then from there, we're going to go to the different elementary schools. And since we don't have the vans, that we have the buses, that we can actually be quicker with our, going to more sites. Right. So each bus is going to go to at least 5 to 6 sites. Wow. And so that'll be another 24 sites that we'll be going to. And so it'll be interesting to see how we do it. And then we have a couple of vans that if we need to run food to different places, like sometimes we might have schools that are having special programs just maybe for a week. And so that's the information I'm trying to get from those schools, so I can, if we can take care of those children, of feeding them for whatever activity it is that they're having. So we're really excited about it. And one of the good things that actually we've sort of gone national in a way, that whenever we finished our summer last year, I actually did like a little manual of what process we went to get the buses done, the things that we did for summer feeding. And so I wrote this all up, and I actually sent it to the state, and now USDA has been using that information throughout the United States for other people that are inquiring about how can we do more mobile feeding.
Sure. Oh, that's wonderful.
So it's been exciting.
Well, we're so proud and proud of you.
Yeah, so that's been real fun, and I think one of the things that in the past we used to do, like years ago, we did some sandwiches and stuff through Pritchard Housing Board. They were like the sponsor, and we would make sandwiches, and every day it was a cold sandwich. Well, since we figured out how to do the hot like sandwiches and stuff, the children just love that, and so it's just been really fun that, you know, we've been able to do that kind of stuff, and it's also carried over into our school year.
Right.
One of the things that we've done is with our field trips that kids take, usually we'd send like either a cheese sandwich, peanut butter and jelly sandwich,
which is fine, but
it's okay. But now that we have like the Cambros and stuff, we actually send hamburgers, hot dogs and stuff.
Oh my gosh, with the field trips?
Yes, on their field trips. And then we'll send like maybe carrots or broccoli or something like that as a vegetable.
Sure.
And chips and, you know, that kind of stuff. And then we have the ice chest that we do that. So it's actually improved our field trips.
Oh, definitely.
And then the other day we had at the Bryant Vocational Center, they had something with FFA that they were doing some kind of competition, that there were students from all over the county coming to there. And it was about 200 students that were coming. And so we were actually able to get the Superfood Express. We went to Theodore High School, loaded the bus up with food, and we were able to feed all those students. Whereas before, in the past, we've never even done anything. They were trying to do some type of barbecue or something, but they just didn't have the funds for it. So it was all our students, so we just had to have their names and their lunch numbers, and we were able to feed them. So through the Superfood Express, we were able to bring that food, had hamburgers, hot dogs, that kind of stuff for them that day. So it really worked out great.
Oh, it did. It really did. So, you know, the Superfood Express is so cool because it's so, you know, decorated. Now, are you doing that with the other ones? The other buses?
Yes, they're all decorated too. They're the exact same, so you'll see four buses exactly the same. So that way, if you see the big bus with the kids and, you know, with vegetables and doing different activities, you'll know that it's the Superfood Express coming around. So
I love it.
We have those.
We need to take a break, so you stay put, and we'll be right back.
Okay.
Diesel is a very big industry, and I went into it in a 2-year program at the Bryant Career Tech with Tony Tillman.
When Jacob graduated from the Bryant Career Center, he had earned his diesel credential.
The Career Technical Center taught me a lot, all the way from not knowing anything about a motor or engine to knowing pretty much every single moving part of them.
MCPSS Career Tech. Start your future today.
The quality of education that I received from the Mobile County Public School System really prepared me for global success. Being an international opera singer, I get to travel all across the world. And one of the most important aspects about that is being able to communicate and work with people. And the Mobile County Public School System really equipped me to be greatly successful worldwide.
Traditional light bulbs actually generate 9 times more heat than light. Let's switch to Energy Star light bulbs and stop burning through cash. Saving energy saves you money.
Welcome back to Homeroom. I'm Nancy Pierce, Public Relations Supervisor for the Mobile County Public School System, and we are talking food. We're talking about summer feeding. We're talking about all sorts of food, and of course, who doesn't like food? Joining me is Suzanne Yates. She is the Director of Child Nutrition Program, and we have a lot of fruits and vegetables that kids are learning all about, and they're trying them, which I ate broccoli when I was 20, in my 20s. I ate asparagus in my 30s. So silly.
We have, one of the things that we have in Mobile County is we do have the Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Grant Program. And basically what that is we're trying to introduce students to fresh fruits and vegetables, but they cannot be served during breakfast or lunch time. They cannot be served during mealtime.
Why not?
Well, it's just a program that they have to be served during academic time, like
Okay.
snacks and things like
Okay.
that. So it's actually taken out of the National School Lunch Program or the School Breakfast Program and put in as a whole nother thing. So basically kids could eat all day long, it seems like.
But healthy,
Yes.
healthy eating.
And one of the things is Mobile County has 15 schools that are on the Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Grant Program this year. And that equates to almost $500,000 of
Wow.
fresh fruits and vegetables that we actually give to these students. And it's all elementary schools. And what we're trying to do is introduce them to new fruits and vegetables,
Sure.
but then also have the traditional type of things that they're probably familiar with. Some of the things, like we serve apples, oranges, bananas, strawberries, that kind of stuff. But then we have to also serve some vegetables. And that's sort of where the tough part comes in is, like we'll serve fresh green beans, we'll serve fresh asparagus, things like that. We'll always serve a little ranch dip with it,
That's
that
good,
kind
though.
of stuff. So it's hard to try to get some of the vegetables because yes, there are a lot of vegetables, but not just everything can be eaten raw.
Right.
And so we can cook some vegetables to a certain extent, but the only, I guess you could say the only problem with that is with the Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Grant, we're not allocated any really labor. If we wanted to, we could, but just the logistics of it, I really like to have most of the money or all of the money just go to the purchasing of fresh fruits and vegetables because it is pretty expensive because one of the things that we do is Big Charlie's is our produce people that they're local here in town. They actually started a fresh cut room for us.
Oh, how nice.
That they actually prepare the vegetables, like say if it's cucumber sticks or something like that. They'll actually wash the cucumbers, cut them up, package them in individual packaging.
Oh my gosh.
So that way it's easier for us just to distribute to the kids. Because if we had to bring that into our kitchens and start doing all that process,
It's labor intensive.
it's very labor intensive.
Yeah.
So one way or the other, you got to have it packaged some kind of way. So they've been really good about doing things for us. And like some of the things they'll do is say we'll have like this thing, it's called like example, a pomelo. It's like this big softball looking grapefruit, okay? It's a citrus type of fruit and it's got a real thick skin. So to give to a child is way too much. So they'll quarter them and then we'll send the quarters out to all the kids wrapped up. But then we'll actually send a whole pomelo so that way that they can see what the
it
fruit
looks
is.
like, sure.
Yeah, see what it looks like.
Does it look like a grapefruit?
It's sort of like a big old softball kind of thing. It's really
Does
not.
it taste like a grapefruit?
It tastes really good.
Does it?
It's just a citrus type of, between a grapefruit and an orange kind of thing. Some of the other things that we try to serve differently, like this in the springtime, around Easter and stuff, we like to serve the different colored carrots. Like there's purple carrots, yellow carrots, white carrots, and it's just different colors. Like at Mardi Gras time, we serve carnival cauliflower. It's purple, green, and gold cauliflower. And so these are just specialty items that we can
grow
get.
like that, or
Yes.
somebody adds a little
Well, I'm sure they
food coloring.
genetically modified some kind of way. But we can get those types of things that it's just sort of different that you wouldn't normally see.
I always thought carrots were orange.
Yeah, well, they have different color, like even radishes. They have one that looks like a watermelon, that it's green on the outside and red on the inside.
Whoa.
They have black radishes and stuff. And some of these things you don't normally see like in your regular grocery stores.
Right.
You might see them more in a specialty grocery store. But it is something to introduce them that there are those types of things out there.
Do they taste different?
No, not really.
They pretty much
but
taste like what you think it's going to taste like. A
it
carrot's
tastes
a carrot, a carrot.
Cauliflower.
Okay.
And one of the things that we have to provide nutrition education. So what we do is Amanda Arnold, who's our dietitian that's on staff, she'll actually, and she gets like dietetic interns to help her. She'll get them to like do little flyer kind of things that we put in a PDF format, and it'll be information about each fruit or vegetable. Sometimes they do little videos that you can get off of the internet and stuff like that they'll take and they'll modify them to talk about that fruit or vegetable. And then we'll send that to all the schools, and then on their smart boards, whenever they're eating that fruit or vegetable in the classroom, they can actually learn a little bit about it.
Good deal.
So it's actually it's been a really good program.
How long ago did it start? I was thinking Dodge was the first
Dodge
school.
was
Is that
the
right?
first one, and I think they're in their 6th or 7th year. So it's been going on for quite a while. So we've actually sent out applications to all the schools again. The 15 schools, they have to just renew.
Right.
And send in a form, and hopefully they get renewed.
Sure.
But it's not as extensive of an application as the other one. But the other one is not a very extensive application.
Really?
We try to fill out most of it. And each year they change it up a little bit. But so far it's been a really wonderful program to have for our students. So.
I remember the first time we did it with Dodge, and the one fruit was a star
fruit, yes.
which I still haven't tasted.
Yeah, I haven't tasted that either.
You haven't? I can't believe that.
One thing with the star fruit, we learned about what kinds of fruits you can cut and it'll hold.
Right.
Well, we had done some star fruit, which star fruit were probably 50 cents or so a piece for our cost.
Uh-huh.
And they had cut them all up and stuff ready for the kids, but just that day or two that it waited,
Sure.
they didn't hold up, and
Oh my gosh.
it was a disaster.
Oh no.
So that kind of, so you learn a lot about how things can keep.
Mm-hmm.
Also, just the ease of prep and for the students to eat, like pomegranates. That's not really the easiest thing you want to do.
No.
But we have tried serving them in there. But the favorite thing that the kids love is the corn roasting. Big Charlie's brings their big old corn roaster out there like they have at the flea market, and they actually roast the corn for the kids, and it's all like an outside activity. In fact, at Will Elementary, during the winter time, they were, November, December, there was a real cold day, and it was just way too cold to roast corn, so they're actually having theirs this spring. So,
okay.
So anyway, that's just a real fun time. Another fun time is whenever we have pumpkins. We'll get them each a little pumpkin and stuff, and then they'll do different activities with a big pumpkin, like carving out the pumpkin and actually counting the seeds. Does a pumpkin float or sink? And they do different types of activities, and they can do different activities within the classroom.
And then do they make a pumpkin pie?
They have done some pumpkin cookies or something like that a couple of times. So
I have to ask you, do you ever give Brussels sprouts to the kids?
We haven't, and that's one thing. It's just to eat a raw Brussels sprout, or we could cook it. That's something that we'd have to try. Like, I know one time one of our schools actually took acorn squash, cut them in half, and cooked them for the students to try in their class time, and that was just really a lot of work.
Oh, sure, sure.
But it was a different type of thing to put like a little cinnamon on it and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I had it, but so it's just sort of interesting. There's this year they're requiring that they give us a list of like 15 fruits and 15 vegetables, and we have to select 10 of each one of those we have to have on the program. And some of them are just sort of interesting. We'll see if we can do it.
Well, even cauliflower. Do the kids like cauliflower?
They'll try it, and especially I think
if you have ranch
pretty much if you have ranch dressing, you'll do it. Like one time we tried to do mushrooms. Well, mushrooms, I like raw mushrooms. They're okay, but that was pretty much a bomb. Mushrooms were pretty much thrown away. So. It's just some kids, I think it's just a good learning lesson.
Oh, I do too. And some kids, well, I'm thinking about, and I know me, it took me forever to try stuff. We were growing up in the Midwest, we had potatoes and beans and peas and corn, especially corn and beans were our vegetables. And that was about it. We might eat a cooked carrot every once in a while, but raw carrots were much better. But cauliflower, even with ranch dressing. But Brussels sprouts, if you season them a lot, they aren't bad.
They're
seasoning's pretty good.
I've done some that I've actually done bacon and little brown sugar.
All the things you aren't supposed to use. Won't that be incredible though if you got all the elementary schools to do this? I mean, wouldn't that be?
It'd really be nice. The only thing is that you have to be careful about infringing on the academic time, because like the state would like for us to serve it 3 times a week, but that's just sort of, really, we would run out of money quicker.
Sure.
And then also, I think it's infringing a little bit. If we just introduce him twice a week, I think schools can work that out and
Sure.
stuff. So, but it's really been a successful program.
I think
and
that's great.
I think everyone really has enjoyed it and stuff like that.
You
so.
think you'll get some more this year for next year?
I think so. A couple of people have already contacted me about that they're sending in their paperwork and stuff like that. So hopefully we get some good response.
I think we should
to
try
that.
it here.
That would be, we'd be eating fruits and vegetables. Because I know some schools, it's like I've actually gone in and they'll have some fruit or vegetables like on the counter in the office. And really, it's for the students, but you also have to have the adults and stuff like that actually eating in front of them so that they know, you know, that it's something that they'll eat too, you know. So it's
And
just,
then they can go home,
Right.
tell their parents, gosh, guess what I had to eat today? I had some asparagus.
Well, one of the funny things is that Castleton Elementary, this was a few years back, they had pluots. And
Love this.
there at the little store, I think it's Greer's or whatever in Grand Bay, they didn't know what that was, but then all the parents were asking for it because the children wanted it. So they had to actually
Had to
start
order
bringing
them.
they had
Sure.
to order them in.
Sure. Oh, I love pluots. We need to take another break, so you stay there, and we will be right back. See you in just a minute.
It started with me at Murphy High School when I came here as a freshman in 1973. I was very interested in math and science already before I came to Murphy. From Murphy High School, I was appointed to the U.S. Naval Academy, was able to get my college degree and also my commission in the U.S. Navy from the Naval Academy. But it truly was the foundation that I gained here at Murphy High School that allowed me to take advantage of that great opportunity.
Thank you so much for joining us today and staying with us. I'm Nancy Pierce, Public Relations Supervisor for the Mobile County Public School System. We're talking about the Superfood Express and all sorts of fresh fruits and vegetables. Joining me is Suzanne Yates. She is the director of our Child Nutrition Program. And we have just so much going on. There are a lot of renovations in cafeterias, right?
Right, we do have a lot of renovations going on. About two or 3 years ago, they had done 4 kitchen renovations during the summer. They said they would never do that again. Well, they used the wrong word, never. Well, this year we're doing 3 kitchen renovations.
Oh my God!
this
What kind of renovations?
They're actually gutting the whole kitchen.
Okay.
And then they're redesigning it and just bringing it more up to code.
Right.
Air conditioning them.
Oh, that's
So
nice.
we
It's
still
got to
have-
be really
yeah,
hot.
We still have some kitchens that are not air conditioned, and people are like, "What?"
Right.
The cafeteria is air conditioned, but not the kitchen.
Not the kitchen.
And you'd be surprised as to how many we have. But the cost to reconfigure all that is just phenomenal. So. And a lot of this is done through all the, I guess, the bond money. I don't know, whatever, that the renovations
Right.
are done through facilities. And so Murphy High School is one of our renovations that we're having. And so that's one of the things that we're trying to work with that. Also Lott Middle School and Phillips Magnet School. And so one of the interesting things about these is what we're trying to do is start the renovation before school ends.
Okay.
So that way, whenever school begins next year, the kitchen is completed.
Wow.
Because the last time we did this in the summer, not all
They
the
didn't get
kitchens were
finished.
completed. And it was just with new kids coming in
Sure.
and just trying to start off the year, it was very difficult.
But how
So-
can you do that if kids are still there? Because you still have to feed them and everything.
Yes, the Superfood
Oh,
Express.
of course. Our
So,
fabulous Superfood
With
Express.
4 of those buses, we're
Uh-huh.
going to use, so we're having to configure how we're going to do this. For Lott Middle School, Citronelle High is going to prepare their food. So we're going to have some of the employees from Lott go to Citronelle High to help prepare the food, and we'll have a bus.
Okay.
Take the food from Citronelle to Lott. And what they'll do is whenever they're bringing the lunch for that day, which we're going to have pretty much like what we have for summer feeding, like hamburgers, hot dogs, tortilla wraps, and things like that. It'll be hot sandwiches and then your other foods with fruits and vegetables and stuff like that. We're going to bring in their lunch, and then we'll bring the breakfast in for the next day. So the breakfast will be a cold breakfast.
Oh, okay.
Because we have to also, we're working with transportation.
Right.
And so whenever a bus driver, they'll make their bus run, get off of their bus, go get the Superfood Express, make that run,
my
and
gosh.
then they'll go back and pick up their students, however they do
Yeah.
it. So it's a lot of coordination between transportation, other schools, the renovation schools, facilities, and it's just sort of, it's a big undertaking.
It
And
sounds
so
like
for
it.
7 weeks, we will be transporting food. For Phillips, let's see, O'Shell Road, which is just right across the way, the yard there, they'll be preparing the food. So that won't be too, but we'll still have a bus because they have to carry it there. And then for,
and I was
Murphy.
trying to think of
Murphy,
right.
okay. For Murphy High School, they have such a large lunch wave. They have 2 huge lunch waves. Each lunch wave serves between 700 and 800 students. So what we're doing is Howard Elementary is going to prepare for one lunch wave, and then Craighead is going to prepare for the other lunch wave. And also with the schools that are preparing the food, they will probably also follow those same menus just for ease of preparation. So right now what we're trying to do is get all of our staff divided, and then some staff at the prep schools will have to ride the bus to the renovated school and then ride the bus. So it will be a big undertaking, but we will have very nice kitchens and the cafeterias are already done. And some of them, they are going to actually, I know Phillips, they're actually redoing all the cafeteria because they're expanding it. Murphy had their cafeteria redone a few years back. And then with the tornado, they had some more renovations done. But now they're getting the whole kitchen done. And it's going to be really a nice design because for a while it's just been really chopped up because it's been added on. So now they're just gutting the whole thing and
doing one.
And they're going to redo like all the vent hood system in all the schools and stuff. So it will really be nice and very feasible for them to work in.
And so you're the one that gets to figure out all the who goes where, when, why, and what they're going to have.
Right. So, but I do have to thank my staff.
Oh yeah, you have a great staff.
Michelle, Laura, Peggy, Amanda, and then I have Toby and Melanie and Diane and Danette.
They're good.
They're all been running the roads and helping us coordinate things because with our food purchasing, we've had to coordinate that of where to deliver the food.
Right.
We've had some commodities that we've been trying to use up. And at the same time, we're trying to get ready for summer feeding because the week after we finish with school of these 4 buses, we have to turn around and get them ready for summer feeding.
You're making me exhausted just thinking about all of this.
It's a lot going on.
There is a lot going on, but there always is, and I guess you just keep kind of adding one new thing every summer. I'm hoping that all the schools go ahead, all the elementary go ahead with the fruits and vegetables. Maybe not all at once, but if they do, that'd be great. And that you just do a fabulous job. One time we've got to bring you back here to talk about your trips to Washington, and the Mobile County Public Schools, child nutrition program is getting a lot of attention. So a lot of it's because of you, Suzanne.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for coming, and thank you for listening and for watching.